Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the next video in the mock interview series with UiPath Aspirant. For the people who are looking this series for the first time, in this series I am taking mock interview for candidate based on their resume, their experience and their skill set. Please note that this is just a mock interview. It is not for any client, any customer or any of the job opportunities. The format of the mock interview is absolutely simple. The candidate send me the resume. I set up some time. I take the mock interview and all the confidential details such as the name, the company name, the project information, everything remains confidential with me. Even the name which you see in the mock interview is changed. So you do not have to worry about any of the details. Once I receive the interview, I hide the details, we take the interview. At the end, I guide the candidate that what are the topics he needs to improve upon, and I also provide the feedback on the interview so that they can perform well in their live interview. In terms of cost, the cost of the mock interview is absolutely free for you. You don't have to pay me anything. You just have to send me your resume and we can set up a common time and I conduct a mock interview for you. In case your experience match this mock interview, you can go ahead and watch. But in case you are coming from a different experience, you can go back to the playlist. There we have a couple of mock interviews which are already taken. You can watch them, get some insight, and hopefully that should be helpful in your next interview. If you want to appear for such a mock interview, all you have to do is just drop me an email on the email ID which is available in the description. Having said that, let's get started with today's mock interview. So, hi Vittal, I hope you are able to hear me.
Yeah, I am
Okay,
able to.
great. So, I have received your resume for the mock. The format of the mock interview would be simple, right? I would be asking question based on a resume. You have to answer me, and at the end, I would tell you that what are the areas you need to improve upon, and also I will tell you that what are the topics or the areas where you need to improve upon and where can you study more about it. Okay. And yeah, so while mentioning your projects and all, you don't have to necessarily mention me your client, company, and all of those details. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, great. So let's get started by having a quick introduction about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So, my name is Vedi. I have total 10 years of experience in IT industry, and out of 10 years, in initial 5 years, I was working as a SAP automation test engineer, and I work with multiple automation tools like QTP, UFT, CBTA, most of the things in the SAP. So after that, like since 2018, I started working as a UiPath RPA developer, and I completed my certification, the advanced certification in the UiPath.
Mhm,
And currently, I'm working as a senior RPA developer in current position.
mhm,
And my current roles and responsibilities to to gather the requirement. Here, I'm mostly playing the part of the individual contributor
mhm.
into the projects. And we have the multiple team members like business analyst and uh, I am as a working as a developer. So in that case, my main roles and responsibilities is to take the requirement from the client and we validate this requirement whether it can be automate or not with the solution architect. And once we get the approval from the solution architect, we go for process design document. We prepare it. We take a sign off from the client. We go for the development of the RPA bots. After the development, we do a testing, the UAT with the client, and after that, we go for deployment into the production. So after the deployment, we give the support to the bot until the process gets stabilized.
Hmm.
So out of this, my responsibility, I do support for other team members which are in my team for a technical assistance. So we do prepare a PDD, SDD, and hands-on things. So these are the main roles and
Great. So
responsibility
I
I have.
think you are in an IC role, and most
Yeah,
of all the RPA life cycle, all the stages in RPA life cycle, you are contributing to in your current form, right? Okay, so if I understand it correctly, you have close to 5 or 5+ years of experience in RPA UiPath, right? And apart from that, most of was in SAP automation testing, correct?
yeah, correct.
Okay, so now in this 5 years, right, how many processes you have automated approximately?
So in last 5 years, I have automated around like 20 processes end to end.
Okay, 20 processes end to end. Okay, so now out of these 20 processes, I want you to talk about maybe the recent one or any one which you are comfortable talking about end to end, right? Talk me through the problem statement, that what was the automation supposed to do, what was
Mhm.
the problem statement, and what was your role in it, any one of the automation.
Yeah, sure. So there was a process like tenure chess process, and in that process, like the problem statement was we have the contractors, more than 200 contractors are there, and so every month the recruiter team need to monitor each contractor tenure date and when the contract position is going to end. So whether particular resource we need to renew or we need to extend or we need to terminate. So all these things they need to keep it continuously monitoring manually and sending the emails manually, like to the respective recruitment team whether this candidate need to be extend or terminate or like this. So
Hmm,
we have lots of data to analysis and do all these things. So it was a repetitive task and it was a very time consuming task.
hmm,
So we took this use case to be automate as a part of the RPA, and in that case, the proposed solution was what we have decided, like on every this process we need to run every week. So
mhm,
we have developed our RPA bot over there. So we discussed with the client, we took the requirement. So basic requirement was to they have the list of candidates and they have the the manual there is a system actually which is
hmm,
IQN, which is
hmm,
mainly monitor and will keep all the data of each candidate. uh, for the Especially it is designed for the contractors.
hmm,
So we by using RPA we extract all this data from that application. We prepare our custom emails from the company. We add the the recipients. We
hmm,
add the recruitment team as well.
hmm,
We add all the details, start and end date of the particular contract position,
mhm.
and we ask a recruiter team to whether they need to extend or terminate these things. So we
Okay.
provide automated
Hmm,
email with the link in
hmm,
the email body,
hmm,
and we send all these emails all over across the recruitment team.
hmm,
And this bot was running like every week.
hmm,
So it was more than 500 contractors we need to do this thing. So by using this RPA, we achieved ROI,
hmm,
we saved FTE, and we saved a lot of time and monitoring. So this was the one of the use case we
hmm.
recently implemented.
Understood. So that's a good one. And when you talk about this IQN system, right, what exactly is this? Is it a web-based application, desktop application? What it is?
Yeah, so it is one of the web applications,
Hmm,
and where it maintain all the information related to the contractors. So it is
understood.
information related to the payment
Hmm,
and what is the charges of the contractor, when it started, end date, and who is manager of that contractor, who is a vendor company, and all these things.
understood. Now, okay, so I understand your process completely, and I believe that it is a transactional processing. So I believe it's built on RE framework.
Yeah, so all 20 projects which I said in the
Hmm,
last 5 years, we all projects we have developed by using RE framework.
okay. What is the transaction item in this complete process?
Transaction item is like basically we upload all the contractor employee IDs
Hmm,
and into the queue,
hmm,
and by one we do a process. We extract the information,
hmm,
the like employee name, employee number,
hmm,
email address, and start date, end date. and recruitment team details like email address of the recruitment team like this. So all this transaction data we do process for each candidate.
Got it. Now, okay, I understand your process completely, right? So when you are sending an email to the vendors, right, where it is having a link, so that link would simply say that um, I'll click on the link, and the link should say that should I extend it or should I not extend it, right? So let's say I'm the recruiter and I click on the link which says that
Mhm,
extend it. What happens now?
mhm. So what we have done, like we have on the based on the link, we have provided custom email, the additional email.
Hmm,
So there is another email will open in the Outlook when
hmm,
you open the link,
hmm,
and the inbuilt email body. So
hmm,
inside email body, we will have the recruitment name. We have the all the details of the candidate,
hmm,
and there is option to extend whether this candidate extend or the terminate. So this email the recruitment team need to be send the hiring manager.
hmm,
So they need to send it manually. So it is just the bot will prepare an email body with
hmm.
all the signature and the recipient and the sender all these details in advance.
Okay, and then this email would be received by the recruiter, right? And what the recruiter would do after receiving this email, right? I think he'll go to the system and he will simply mark the system as
Yes.
what you call
So
enable disable,
yes,
right?
correct,
So,
correct. So
hmm,
the RPA scope was just to inform to the recruitment team,
hmm.
and after the poster information, we do not automated anything. So they were doing manually.
But why? Because if I see it, right, you can actually automate this other part also, right? Where the recruiter part also, that
Yeah,
as soon as
correct.
the person clicks on yes, right, it
Yes.
automatically goes and it will trigger a new robot or anything, right? And that will mark it as enable disable, right? You have all the data, right? Why it is not automated?
So actually, from security team, it was not approved this part
Hmm.
to update into the system. So we just reading. They have provided only read-only data
Hmm.
from the IQN system. So
Okay.
by using that, we just pull the data. We do a massaging of the data and
Hmm.
prepare a email and inform to the recruitment team. So there was not provided. They have edit or write permissions into the system to the
Okay, so
bot.
you only have read-only access. Okay. Now, let's say I have a new requirement for you. Okay, now I say that Vittal, you have the write access also.
Okay.
Okay, you have
Yeah.
the write access, and now I want you to tell me the architecture of the robot. How would you
Mhm.
design the automation? When I say that, as soon as the person click on the hyperlink, which is on the email, it should start a new process, right? And it should go
Mhm.
and do this approval date, uh, increase, decrease, validate everything, right? It should do, right? What would be the high level architecture, right? How would you design? So I'll tell you. So
Yeah.
first robot is there, which is going,
Mhm.
which has created get those information and it has sent an email, right? This is your robot, current robot. Now, as soon as the recruiter click on that URL,
Mhm.
it should do all the other things, right? How are you going to structure this? What would be your design?
So in that case, what I think like whenever the recruiters send a email or it click on the extend or something like that.
Hmm.
So in current scenario, as I said, we have inbuilt a body which email is prepared.
Hmm.
So for each RPA process, we have one of the generic user ID, and based on that, we have the Outlook account as well. So we receive an email from the recruiter into the bot account, and we can read the email in the Outlook, and we can decide on the emails whether do we need to extend or terminate. So
Hmm.
based we will take the input from the email and we do perform action into the system.
But how will you schedule the next robot, right? The robot which is supposed to read the emails, because the recruiter might click, some recruiter might click it on Monday 9 a.m.
Correct, correct.
Somebody will
Yes.
can click on evening, right? Somebody is not clicking for 2 days. He went on vacation, right? So how are you going to schedule the other robot?
Yeah. So for this, what we can do, I there are two ways. One is like continuously running, or some like second way could be like we can decide with the business. like on a particular day, the second robot will run. But to check a continuous, uh, we need to. I think we need
Mhm.
to add a queue items for that maybe. But I did not get opportunity to work on such scenarios. But definitely I will explore this.
Now, what do you think, right? So that's fine, right? So let's say I give you this challenge and I give you everything, right? So, okay, so you're saying that I would have a robot that will continuously check the mailbox, let's say every 5 minutes,
Yes,
right?
correct.
So every five
Mm.
minutes it goes, it checks the email, right? Then what would it do next?
So if there is a new email found, it will
Hmm.
create a queue item
Hmm.
and it will add into the queue, and the dependent trigger will start the execution based on the queue items.
Okay, but now after 5 minutes, again the same robot will execute, right?
Yes,
It
correct.
will again get the new email, same email.
No, like when we read the email, we will mark it as read. Like
Hmm.
only we will read unread emails every
Okay,
time.
okay, okay, and then you will
Yeah.
add it to the queue, and then we will trigger the robot. Okay, so understood. Now coming back to your first automation, right, which you have already done. Let's say I am the admin of this IQN portal, okay, and I say that, hey Vittal, I want to have a report, right? It's on weekly basis. Let's say it's working on Monday. I say that every Saturday I want to have a report that which all candidates or the contacts got extended and which one got expired. I just want a single report at the end of the week. Are you
Yeah.
having this provision now?
Uh, right now, the UI or the GUI of the application, they do not have any kind of table or something like that.
No, no, not
But
from the GUI application. I want it from the RP robot, right? Because you are processing, right? You know which all are extended, you know which all are expired, right?
yeah, correct.
So,
So in that
hmm,
case, after every execution, we can prepare our own one of the Excel file, the processed items,
mm-hmm,
and we can keep there the status along with the employee ID, whether it was extended or it was a terminated or something like that.
mm-hmm.
So we can prepare one of the Excel or CSV file. We can keep it on one of the share folders, so we
Mm-hmm.
can refer those things.
Okay, and the robot will keep updating that Excel file.
Yeah, we can generate a new file based on the date, or
Hmm.
we can add a new rows inside an existing Excel as well.
Okay, but uh, since it is an Excel, right, and it is at a shared location or anything, right? Uh,
Yeah.
there is always a risk. Risk as in, let's say Vittal Automation has created 5 rows in the Excel. Mukesh goes into the shared drive and delete the Excel,
Mm, yeah,
right?
there is a possibility. Yes.
Right. So then the reporting is not proper, right? And there is a good chances that the share drive or anything happen, right? So my requirement is simple, right? So let's say Saturday morning, I want to get the current status.
Okay.
Can I do it
So
by
if
alternate way you can suggest to me?
yes, correct. So like if the requirement is like just we need a data for the
Yeah.
last execution, in that
Not the
case,
last, basically last week, all the transactions. Yeah.
yeah. So inside a queue, we can have get queue items, and from
Hmm.
there we can extract the data of successful items,
Hmm.
and based on that we can get the information, all these things.
And are you going to create a new robot for it, or the existing robot will be able to take care
Uh,
of this?
yeah. So in the existing robot, we can add this additional code to have such kind of reports to the management, like after after executing all the transaction from the queue. So
Hmm.
we can add this code after that in the
Okay.
existing one. Yeah.
Where in the RE framework you are going to place this code? In which state?
Uh, yes. So in the end process, I will I can put this code before ending the all the all the applications or before closing all the
Okay.
applications before
So
that.
tell me one thing, right? So let's say your automation has started, right?
Mm, mm,
And in the init all application where you're opening this IQN application, you got some exception.
mm,
Okay, you
yeah.
got some system exception. IQN is not able to open, right?
Mm.
Which state the automation will move?
So in from the init state, if you got the system exception, it will definitely go to the end process.
It will
Okay.
go to the end process, right? Now, coming back to the previous question, we have written our code to send the email final report in the end process.
Yeah, correct.
It will
So
again send that email, right? Yeah.
yeah, so either there is a two approach. One is like we can assign a flag also, like we can create our own asset. So asset will be marked as a boolean. So when all queue items will be processed, then we can mark as the asset as a true. And
Mm-hmm.
if the asset value is true, then only we can prepare the dashboard report. Or if asset value is false, then we can don't no need to prepare. Such kind of things we can implement maybe. This could be one of the way.
If all the
Or
items are processed, right? So let's say you have 10 items in the queue,
mhm,
right? So on the 10th item, you have marked that flag as true. Okay. All items are processed successfully marked as true, right? And then
yeah,
based on that flag, you are saying that I can go to the this and then I can check, right? That's what you are saying, if I'm not wrong.
like in the get transaction data, if there is no data, it again go to the end process.
Hmm.
So once the all data is all processed, then
Hmm.
we can mark the flag.
But
Yeah,
if my automation is working on UiPath Orchestrator and I click on stop,
yeah,
then also it will go to the end process, right? From the get transaction data. Your
correct,
flag
correct.
is false. It will again go to that, right?
Yes.
You're
So
getting the
that is,
question?
yeah, yeah. I got your question.
Yeah.
Um, maybe if we if the end process is not the best place to keep this code, then we can keep it in the process block.
Mm-hmm.
In the process block, yeah, in the get transaction item, if there is no data, so again it will go to the end process. So I'm little bit confused here. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so now I am going through your CV, right? And I see that you have now working as a senior RP developer, right? So let's say I gave you three automation process, right? Okay.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
you have three automation processes, automation one, two, and three. Okay. And you have to pick one process for automation. Okay.
Okay.
Out of these three, you
Mhm.
have to pick because you can do only one at a time. So which process are you going to automate, right? What are the things you will look into the automation that
Yeah.
which is the best suitable candidate for automation?
Yeah. Correct. So there are a few basic parameters for every use case we need to validate.
Hmm,
So first thing, whether the system or application is stable enough to do automation. Okay.
hmm,
So this is the first thing we need to check. Second thing, we need to check whether this application, or do we have any upcoming upgrade or upcoming new version
hmm,
of that application in the
hmm,
upcoming few days. So those kind of application or the we no need to automate because the maintenance cost it again it will be high.
hmm,
So we need to check with the business apart from that. So out of these 2 points, we need to check whether the application or the task which we are going to automate that is a repetitive task and it is a time consuming task or it is a complex process and it is the rule based process I would say.
hmm.
Okay. And so by validating all these parameter we will choose one of the process based
Hmm.
on the the business recommendation where some processes have a high priority to do automation which
Hmm.
is having the huge impact all over the organization. So while checking the any kind of process, yeah, so these are the main things we need to check it out.
Okay, okay, understood. Uh, I can see in your resume, right, that you have a good experience on troubleshooting and all. You have mentioned it twice or thrice. Can you tell me, let's say I have a robot which is working in production, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
got an exception,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Now, what are the things? So let's say there is a robot which is working in production and you got an exception saying that object reference not set to an instance of an object. Okay, this is the
Mm.
error Whittle has got.
Okay.
Now, what are the next steps you are going to do to make sure that uh, you fix it, right? So that comes to you and now you have to fix it, right? So
Mhm.
what exactly will do? What exactly will you look for?
Okay. So, in such kind of exception, first we need to check on the RPA machine whether that application which we are expecting that
Hmm,
application is exist or not.
hmm,
Okay. So first thing we need to check the state of the application whether it's active or inactive. That
okay.
things we need to check it manually first,
Hmm,
and we can check, first of all we need to analysis the execution logs. Okay.
hmm,
So from the logs, we will most of the things are getting clear at
hmm,
what point the automation is getting failed.
hmm,
Okay, so the logs are very important.
hmm,
And the second thing is like we can check the screenshot, the automatic screenshot which is captured by RE framework.
hmm,
So into the project folder, we can go into the exception. We can check the screenshot over there.
hmm,
So all checking all these parameters, we can also check additional parameter for the screen resolution.
hmm.
Okay, we need to set the screen resolution with the development and the RPA production machine. That could be the same. So yeah. So after that,
Okay.
yeah. So all these
So
things we
a
need to check.
follow-up question now. Let's say you have found the issue. Okay, so you found that
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
issue. What is the issue? And now you and some of your junior developer has fixed those issue, right?
Okay.
Now,
Mm-hmm,
after that, we want to make sure that we update the code in the production. Okay, so as of now, we have just completed the changes in the old code, right? And now we want to make sure that the production code is updated, right? What are the steps you are taking in your current company, or what you would take before deploying it to directly to the production? What are the things? What are the stages you would follow?
So in my current organization, we have two different orchestrators. One is
Hmm,
production orchestrator. Second one
hmm,
is the test orchestrator.
hmm,
Okay. So before going into the deployment, we first deploy the code into the test orchestrator.
hmm,
We execute it by using attended automation sometimes, and by using automation in the attended mode. So in that case, we will test it first in
hmm,
our development machine.
hmm,
After the test, we publish this code into the production machine
hmm,
to avoid the post failures.
hmm.
Yeah. So these are the main step which I will consider before going in directly into the production machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question from my end to you is that, let's say I have already what do you call, I have created, sorry, I am your junior developer. Okay, I have written some code. Okay, and now you have to review the code.
Yeah.
What are the things you see while reviewing your junior developer code?
Yes. So we have the some RPA best standards or best practice we can say where we need to follow in all the projects. So first thing we will check first whether the developed automation is used some kind of framework like we have RE framework. Okay.
Hmm, hmm,
So first we will check that whether it is a standard code. So after that we will check whether proper comments or proper log messages are maintained into the code. Okay.
hmm,
For each block, and we will check where the optimization of code or unnecessary some loop statements are there where sometimes there is a possibility to go the code into the infinite state. So we need to check those checkpoints, the painful points. So after that we need to check the exception handling part in kind of the system exception or the business exceptions, how the code is going to take care and how the exceptions are going to take care all these things.
Hmm.
So apart from that, we need to keep an eye like how the input data is coming into the picture, how it is processing and how it is producing the output data.
Hmm.
So all this input output parameter we need to check,
Hmm.
and we need to check the in arguments and out arguments. What are the things?
Hmm.
We need to clear the unnecessary variables which was created while developing.
Hmm.
So we need to clean the code, and we need to remove the unwanted sequences or unwanted workflows which was developed,
Hmm.
and we need to check yeah, so these are the most things we need to check the code.
Okay, great. So that's it. I am done with my set of questions. Okay, let's come to the feedback, right? So, see, overall for your experience, whatever you have explained me, Whittle, is good, right? I see you have good grip on the project. I just try to tweak the project. You were able to answer me all of that questions as well. And you have answered me all these questions correctly on the reporting part. How do you change it? How do you schedule the robot, queue trigger and all? You have good grip on the robotics enterprise framework as well. You answered me the questions, all of the questions mostly correctly, right? Here and there, that is perfectly fine. And I can see that yes, you have good experience in kind of managing the resources as well. It's overall my feedback is positive for your interview.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
so
you,
I'll take
Mukesh.
a pause, and if you have any questions for me, happy to answer.
Yeah, sure. So, first thing, many thank you for giving me the opportunity to have such kind of great mock interview. And from like since couple of days, I have been followed you and most of the daily chapters. I attended the lots of webinars from the UiPath,
Hmm.
and it was a great opportunity. All right,
Yeah.
thank you, Mukesh. So the last question is like in the UiPath, in which area I
Hmm.
need to improve or I need to
I think
the
whatever
tool.
your CV says, I think you are just doing the plain automation, right? It's all RPA. I think you should now start exploring RPA plus AI, right? Which is like RPA. On top of that, you use the action center, you use the document understanding. I would suggest you start with document understanding one step at a time, then go to the AI
Mhm.
center, and then try to integrate it with the other external components like Chat GPT. Sorry, not Chat GPT, OpenAI, Azure, and all those stuffs, right? So RPA, build your CV like RPA plus AI.
Okay, okay, great.
Okay,
Thank you so much, Mukesh. It was a
awesome.
wonderful conversation with you. Thank you for
Thanks, Whittle.
giving the opportunity. Yeah,
Okay, great. Thank you. Have a good day.
thank you. Have a good day,
Bye.
you too.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that is all for this video. I would like to wrap this video here. I hope this was insightful. If you have any more questions, any more doubts, feel free to write me in the comments, or you can also drop me an email as well. I would appreciate your feedback on the video, and tell me in the comments what would be the next topic or next video you want to see. So with that, I would wrap this video here. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please do subscribe to the channel, and happy automation.